The Philadelphia Eagles have been connected to one of the most dominant pass rushers in the entire NFL over the last few months, my friend, and this week brought a direct update from someone with real connections inside the organization at the center of this entire saga. The rumors started after a blockbuster trade agreement collapsed dramatically, 4 days before it was set to become official. Since then, 2 NFL franchises have been repeatedly named as real suitors to pry this player away from the team that has held on to him since 2019, and one of them is Philadelphia. But the most recent update, coming straight from an insider who covers that team closely, may have just cooled off all the Eagles fan base's expectations once and for all. What exactly was said? Why did the situation change? And what does it mean for the future of Vic Fangio's pass rush? I am going to walk you through the latest update on these trade rumors, including why a possible trade package using Jalen Carter as a centerpiece runs into an obstacle nobody in Las Vegas is willing to overcome. But first, if you are a die-hard Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because this is exactly the kind of trade rumor that could completely change the rest of the offseason if it moves forward. The player at the center of all of this is Maxx Crosby, the 28-year-old edge rusher for the Las Vegas Raiders, selected in the 4th round of the 2019 draft, who has become one of the most respected pass rushers in the league over the last 7 years. Crosby's numbers speak for themselves. 69.5 career sacks, the 3rd highest total in Raiders franchise history, 5 Pro Bowl selections, a second-team All-Pro nod in 2021, and a 2025 season in which he led the team in sacks, tackles for loss, forced fumbles, and passes defended, even while missing the final 2 games due to injury. In March of 2025, Crosby had signed a 3-year, $106.5 million extension with the Raiders, making him at the time the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. But the 2025 season ended painfully. Crosby was placed on injured reserve on December 27th due to a chronic knee issue, left the facility visibly frustrated, and on January 7th underwent surgery to repair a torn meniscus. And that is exactly where the saga began. On March 6th, 2026, the Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens agreed to a trade that would send Crosby to Baltimore in exchange for 2 first-round picks, a package directly compared to the Micah Parsons trade from Dallas to Green Bay the year before. Crosby even recorded an emotional farewell video, was flown to Washington, D.C., and then driven to Baltimore, genuinely excited about the new chapter of his career. But 4 days later, on March 10th, 1 day before the deal was set to become official at the start of the league's new year, the Ravens backed out. The reason, according to multiple sources including ESPN, was a failed physical. Baltimore's concerns centered on the long-term durability of Crosby's knee, due to a degenerative issue identified during the medical evaluation. The Ravens used the money that would have gone to Crosby to sign Trey Hendrickson, formerly of the Cincinnati Bengals, on a 4-year, $112 million deal. Crosby, for his part, was back at the Raiders facility working out the following Tuesday, called his own surgeon for reassurance, and publicly called the entire episode water under the bridge months later, saying he learned a lot about what this league can bring and about the unpredictable adversity of the football business. It was exactly that dramatic collapse that opened the door to the rumors involving the Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers, who continue to be named as the 2 most likely suitors if Crosby is ever actually traded. In late June of 2026, a reported framework even surfaced for a possible 49ers trade, which would have them offering a 2027 first-round pick, a 2028 second-round pick, and edge rusher Mykel Williams in exchange for Crosby. And it is within that context that the connection to the Eagles gained traction, with Jalen Carter still without a signed contract extension, a topic we already explored in detail in previous videos on this channel. Some analysts began speculating whether Carter could be included as the centerpiece of a trade package for Crosby, uniting 2 of the most talented defensive linemen in the entire NFL on the same front line. And it is exactly that possibility that Hondo Carpenter, Raiders insider for Sports Illustrated, decided to completely cool off on the latest episode of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast. According to Carpenter, the Raiders simply have no interest whatsoever in Jalen Carter, and he went further, saying he believes many teams around the league also do not have real interest in the Eagles' defensive tackle. In Carpenter's view, a trade package involving Carter simply would not move the needle for Las Vegas at all. It is a direct statement that essentially eliminates the most speculated scenario involving the Eagles and Crosby, at least with Carter as the centerpiece of the negotiation. Carpenter went further and offered additional context on the whole situation. According to him, the Raiders are not actively shopping Crosby, and the player himself is not demanding a trade. But there is genuine, significant interest from multiple teams, with the 49ers' interest described as high and the Eagles' interest described by Carpenter as super high. The problem, according to the insider, is that with neither side really wanting the divorce, someone is going to need to move the needle significantly, and trading Carter specifically would not be enough to make that happen. The broader context matters for understanding why the Raiders are in such a comfortable position to say no to this type of proposal. Las Vegas's new front office, led by general manager John Spytek, committed nearly $300 million in free agent contracts this year, including a record 3-year, $81 million deal for center Tyler Linderbaum, formerly of the Ravens, the richest contract ever given to an interior offensive lineman in league history. Spytek and new head coach Clint Kubiak, Crosby's 5th full-time head coach since being drafted in 2019, have made clear on multiple occasions throughout the offseason that they expect to have Crosby in 2026. But Spytek has also never said the player is untouchable. Las Vegas's stance has always been clear. They would only consider trading Crosby for an offer impossible to refuse, the kind that involves multiple first-round picks. And according to Carpenter, a package built around Jalen Carter simply does not come close to that level. Here is the bottom line. With physical recovery still ongoing, Crosby is working to be fully ready in time for July training camp, following a recovery he himself described as the longest of his career, though also the best so far. And with the regular season opener against the Miami Dolphins on September 13th approaching, every sign points to Crosby remaining in Las Vegas when the ball is kicked off in September. That does not necessarily mean the door is closed forever. Blockbuster negotiations in professional football can change direction quickly, especially as training camp approaches and teams evaluate the real state of their rosters. But for now, the message coming from inside the Raiders' own environment is clear. Jalen Carter is not the key that unlocks this deal, and Maxx Crosby, at least for now, remains a Raider, with a Raiders insider publicly dismissing any interest in Jalen Carter as a trade piece, with the Eagles described as having super high interest in Crosby regardless, and with Carter's contract extension still pending. The question left for you, Eagles fan, is direct. Do you believe the Eagles should keep pursuing Maxx Crosby with some other trade package that does not involve Jalen Carter? Or should the franchise's priority be getting Carter's extension done and moving forward with the current group of pass rushers? Drop your opinion in the comments. Do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I will be back later to keep you updated with the latest Eagles news.